Hey, what it do, y'all? It's your boy E2 Blue coming back at you again on this Tuesday evening. Let me tell you something. This holiday season is crazy. Everybody need mama out right now. It's just people just all over the place. Um, I did realize today that I didn't do my Victory Monday video yesterday. Like I don't know how I missed that. I guess I was just so busy yesterday, and then I was tired too. But it happens. So I realized at 11 o'clock last night. I was like, damn, I didn't do my Victory Monday video, but here it is. I'm just gonna do my Monday and Tuesday video in one. Boom, here it is. So, as we talk about this week, we know that the NFL is any given Sunday, and any team can win at any time, and we will be speaking more on that as we go along. But let me just recap the game real quick. So, of course, Cowboys win 41-33 against the San Francisco 49ers. Um, Turned out to be a really good game. Now, Mike Nolan still has to go despite of the defense playing well in this game because you keep doing the same things over and over again, which is allowing teams to run the damn ball up your gut, and that's what happens. They scored what 460 something yards like total between running the ball and throwing the ball on us. Like that's you can't do that, and then you still allow 33 points. Even that Hail Mary, they brought C.J. Beathard in at the end, and he threw a Hail Mary touchdown at the end. It just now I believe if we probably would have actually lost the game if CeeDee Lamb didn't score that touchdown at the end on special teams and Anthony Brown didn't get that interception because we were we were getting gashed in that run game, and they were running the ball even before Raheem Mostert went out with that high ankle sprain that he shouldn't have been playing on in the first place. Because I kept watching the game and I was like, how is Raheem still running the ball on us like that with a high ankle sprain? It's really crazy. But only against the Cowboys, right? So as I'm watching the game, I'm looking at other teams and I'm like, okay, well, we're happy now that we know that the rest of Division One this week. So the Cowboys, I guess, playoffs hopes are still alive. So those of you that are Team Tank, which I still don't understand why. I don't understand that, but anyway, those of you that are Team Tank. So with this win, we went from the 5th overall pick to the 8th overall pick, and if we win these next two games, that can go up to 14-15. So and I'm gonna explain before I end the video why that draft status doesn't matter. But some people just don't listen. But y'all gonna hear this shit. Anyway, as we talk about this game, yes, Cowboys get the win. It was definitely a fun game to watch. Cowboys got 4 takeaways, and when you're on a positive takeaway, um, you're more than likely going to win that game. You look at when we blew out the Bengals last week, 30-7. Same thing, multiple takeaways. I think we had 4 takeaways that last week too. But in this particular game, there were 2 fumble recoveries. One was made by DeMarcus Lawrence when he hit the arm of Nick Mullins when he was going backwards, and the ball popped out, and we recovered it. The other one was on special teams. Now, I really like what we're doing on special teams with John Fossil and stuff. He makes it fun. But the only thing that I could criticize him on is sometimes he goes a little bit too far with things. Like, okay, that 4th and 11 play on that one game that we played, like, stop. You're doing too much with that. If he just scales it back just a little bit, this special teams could be dynamic. I love what we have with CJ Goodwin. He's like our best special teams guy. Um, the, John Fossil's getting the best out of these special team unit. Now, one thing that does affect special teams play is when your starters are injured, because then the backups that normally play in those special teams roles have to now play starting roles in the starting lineup, which means that other players that don't normally play their spot has to play their spot. And sometimes in games, there ends up being a problem where somebody's not lined up right because they're not normally playing that position or that spot. So if that makes sense to you guys, that's how things could get lax like that. So, but again, we know that injuries are inevitable; they happen. There's nothing you can do about that. You just have to just roll with the punches, and that's why you practice from a week to week basis, because whenever there's somebody that has to fill in somewhere, they have to be cued in on what their job is that week. So there's that. That's how I feel about the special teams. I really like what they're doing over there. So with minus the extra shit that they were doing, that they don't need to be done. They just gotta find a balance. Once they find a balance, I think they'll be fine. You look at the other takeaways. You had 2 interceptions. You see what happens when you get all your horses back. You had a Chidobe Awuzie back, and Trayvon Diggs coming back, and Donovan Wilson coming back from injury, and Anthony Brown back in there from his rib injury. You had all your guys back. So, these guys just loved they. Jordan Lewis had a great game out there. He had a sack, and he was just around the ball. I know he had a pass interference play, but I'll take that because it just shows that you're out there playing hard. And I think that Jordan Lewis, if anything, I think that he should be re-signed to a decent contract for this team too. Now you look at that situation and you're like, okay, you got your guys. So 2 of those guys I mentioned had interceptions. Anthony Brown had an interception to pretty much seal the win for the Dallas Cowboys, and then Donovan Wilson had an interception earlier in the game. Now I like what Donovan Wilson brings. Now he does get beat sometimes, of course, because he's a 6th-round pick. He's not like an early down guy, but he's definitely a hard hitter, and he's definitely somebody that you want on this team going further. Just imagine next year with Trayvon Diggs in his second year getting better. And then if you draft some more young guys that are dogs, this defense could just be that much better, and things are going to be even more efficient. And you're on a budget because you're not paying nobody no crazy contracts right there. So that helps. Now, as far as Mike Nolan, I said Mike Nolan got to go because, again, you had all year to figure this thing out with this team. As far as us getting gashed up the middle, we can no longer keep getting gashed up the middle. You had all that time to figure it out. We understand COVID, we understand all that, but you should have never came in here to change. The thing about it is you should have never came in here to change to a 3-4 anyway, because we have 4-3 personnel on defense. And then you're going to do that in a COVID year? That was the dumbest shit you could have ever done. My whole thing is this. We got Edwards on staff, right? Wasn't Edwards not just the defensive coordinator for the Vikings, but they made him a senior assistant defensive coordinator? I don't know, whatever the hell the position is. It sounds like some made-up bullshit. But you might as well have made him the defensive coordinator because Edwards is a 4-3 guy. And you had Everson Griffin on this team. And Everson Griffin was a product of Edwards because he played for him in his defense with the Vikings. So there was I can never say that word. There was familiarity there with him. So that's the thing. All they had to do was just keep the 4-3, get some input on Edwards because he knows how Everson Griffin was. But then whatever, I don't know. Maybe it was just some other stuff with Everson Griffin. Maybe he just didn't really like Mike Nolan, and people were talking, and that's what made him go. I don't know, and get traded to the Lions. I guess I don't know, but I will never know because we're not in that locker room. We don't know what really transpired, but it is what it is. Now I will say that the defense have been playing better since you got rid of those guys, and of course Don Terry Poe. He was just, I don't know what the hell his issue was, and he still ain't with nobody. He just chilling right now. I think he just gave up on football. I don't know. But my whole thing is this: Mike Nolan got to go. You can't do that. Like, you should have never did that. You should have kept it the way it was. Now you're getting gashed up the middle all year, and you're dead last in run coverage, and we're going now into week 16, and you still have these issues. Now, granted, the defense were getting turnovers, but without those turnovers, how do you think that game would have went? It probably would have went different. Now, if you come over to the offensive side of the ball, Andy Dalton did play well. The offensive line did their part in certain situations, but in other situations they could have played better. Brandon Knight didn't really have a great game. Terrence still seemed to have a good game, ironically, because we hadn't even heard his name being called. So when you don't hear about an offensive lineman, that means they're doing his job. But, we talked about the offensive linemen and how they have to have cohesiveness between each other. And when you get these guys that don't typically play together all the time, they don't know each other to the point where it's like, okay, in this certain situation, I know how you play and I know how you block, and this guy the let's say for instance the left tackle knows exactly what the guard next to him is going to be doing, and then that guard knows exactly where the center is going to go, because the center could go either way. What's right in front of him, he can help out on the left side, he'll help out on the right side. We know that this offensive line is more of an athletic offensive line than it is strength and brute. We know that. So we make holes and things for our running backs by moving and adjusting and pulling. That is the greatest thing that this offensive line has ever done with Dallas, in maybe I want to say at least in the last 15 years. So that's just what they do. We've always had an offensive, athletic type of offensive line, and so when you have that situation, you have to utilize that as that. Now, they dropped the ball in certain situations. Andy Dalton got hit because they weren't blocking enough for him. But Andy Dalton went out there and did his thing. He went out there. He got some nice passes to CeeDee Lamb. On certain drives, that the ones that didn't stall, that is. And he saw that one play where the defensive guy was offsides and he threw that 47-yard bomb to CeeDee Lamb on that penalty. And of course, you get that plus the penalty yardage. So that helped us get that score there. So you just look at the situations like, yes, we got the win. I'm happy about it. But we do got to fix things on this defense because, and then of course the offensive line. But that's my real only issues with that part. Now, we talked about any given Sunday, right? So as we embark on this playoffs, right? So Cowboys' hopes are very slim. Pro Football Focus say it's about 5% chance that the Cowboys go to the playoffs. But in my expertise, I would say this. It's any given Sunday. Now, this is one of the first times you can say that Cowboys can win both of these next games because you got your division. You play the Eagles and then you play the Giants. And that's it. That's the season. That's all you got left. They did what they needed to do against Cincy. They did what they needed to do against the 49ers. They got those 2 wins. They're 5-9. Now they got the same record as the Giants. So if the Giants lose again this week, if Washington plays Carolina this week and loses, then the Dallas Cowboys are in the driver's seat, and Week 17 could be up in the air. So we are looking for Washington to lose. So, of course, we know the NFL likes to cause drama and controversy. So you know what the NFL did? They flexed the damn Washington game to the same time as us. Because I don't know if you guys realize this. We were always playing at 4:25 Eastern Standard Time. The 3:25 for most of you guys in Central Time. The Washington team was playing at 1 o'clock. They moved them up to 3:25. So now we play at the same time on Sunday. So there's no more of, okay, watching Washington, see if they win or lose. So if they lose, we know that all we got to do is win this game. And if they win, we're like, damn, do we have anything to play for right now? But we're still going to go out there and play. Now they're playing at the same time, so the Cowboys can't clock watch. And I think the NFL did that crap on purpose because they wanted to create that drama and that controversy. And that's just what they do, especially when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys. Now, we're playing against the Eagles, and I'll be talking more about that as the week transpires into Christmas. They're going to start Jalen Hurts again, and that's really hurting Wentz. Get it? It's hurting Wentz. You get it. But anyway, so they're going to start Jalen Hurts. Carson Wentz is definitely hurt about that. He's butthurt, so he's wincing and crying because he's lost his starting spot for right now. So the Eagles got a lot to deal with that. So it is what it is. Now, as far as this playoff thing goes, anything, it's like I said, it's any given Sunday. Anything can happen. You could think this team going to beat this team, but they not. You never know. You never know. Both the Giants and Washington could lose, and then we'd be like, well, damn. We in the driver's seat. Boom. Playoffs. Now, you look at this week's slate of games. The Jets won their first game of the season. The Jets won for the first time since week 17 of last year. And you know who they played this week? They played the LA Rams. They beat the LA Rams with Aaron Donald. The fuck? The Jets won their first game against the Rams, 23-20. Wow. The first game all season. The season almost over. And you beat the Rams? That's why I said it's any given Sunday, y'all. But hold on. Wait, there's more. That's not the only one. Cincinnati won for the first time at home against Pittsburgh since week 2 of 2013. That is a division rival. So you mean to tell me that all the times that Cincinnati has played the Steelers, they have not beat them at their home stadium since week 2 of 2013? Damn, that was when Andy Dalton was the quarterback, wasn't it? Interesting. But anyway, the Bengals beat the Steelers 27-17. The same Bengals team that everybody said, oh, Cowboys blew out the Bengals 30-7, but it's just the Bengals. But then that very same Bengal team with the same Brandon Allen quarterback turns right back around and beats the Steelers the very next week, 27-17. The fuck? So are they still Cincinnati now? Are they still the Bengals now? Because they beat the 3 Steelers? So, people are going to say their narratives, to try to make it sound negative for the Dallas Cowboys. But I want to see what Skip got to say about Skip and Shannon got to say about that. But anyway, that's pretty much all I got. Oh yeah, real quick about the draft status. So, the more we keep winning, okay, we'll get higher in the draft, blah, blah, blah. So at this point, you're not going to get higher than 14, 15, right? Even at that position, we have, 10 or 12 picks? We still have 4 picks in the top 100 in this draft. They can still trade down, because, again, we don't have anything in the top 12 that we're going to pick anyway. So they can still trade down, let another team get that spot, get an extra first-round pick, and then just get more picks towards the back half of the draft. So that's how I think we'll do it. So with that being said, y'all, don't worry about it. Everything is going to be good. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Tap that notification bell so you get this content. Like, share, comment. It's your boy E2 Blue, always keeping it real. Peace out.